Many thanks for staying with us. It's still the conversation, and of course, we're starting from the Lagos end this morning. It's a live program, so you can expect anything. Today's topic is quite interesting. It's quite timely. It's quite relatable because we're in a world of technology. We're in a world of social media, and this is what is beginning to shape the lives of our children. Whether for good, whether for bad, I don't know. I'm not the expert. So I have Bolanle Aloba. She's the CEO, Shoulder Counseling Clinic and Family Life Practitioner and Relationship Coach. And we will be discussing 21st century parenting and the youth. You're welcome, madam.
Thank you very much. It's nice being here.
Okay. From my intro earlier, our parents, when they were training us, I don't think it was hard for them too. There was no notebook, but they just knew what was good and what was bad. Okay, so now there's something called parenting, and it's, which has been labeled as 21st century parenting.
Is there a difference?
Is there a difference between
days
then and now when we're talking about parenting?
Thank you. I would say there are differences.
Oh, it was an S.
Yeah. Yes.
Differences.
Our parents trained us as they trained children. Now, parenting now has gone beyond training children as in our parents trained us. The way they trained first child, that's the way they will train the last child, which might be the ninth born. You understand? But now, parents must train children intentionally and with the knowledge of who that child is, the personality of the child, the love language, and the defect of that child.
So what I want to ask is, did you not have a personality while you were younger? So why the change? Why the change in trend of parenting?
Sometimes I think 2 weeks ago, something just came to my mind that while we were growing up, we were not called teenagers. I don't know if you remember.
I never heard that name. I never heard that name. My name was just my name.
There was no separation, no children. Now, if you call a teenager a child, he won't respond to anything. You understand? If you call a child a teenager, the child will not respond. And if you call a teenager a youth, they will correct you immediately.
So what are they?
They are teenagers. Okay. Children between ages 13 and 19.
Okay.
That is where I can say is like a formative age, where they actually know where they are going, what they want to do, where they want to start what. And
sometimes they feel they know everything.
They do. In fact, you qualify them. They know it all. You can't correct them. So it will take the understanding of a good parent or an intentional parent to understand how to handle them.
Okay.
By time.
So when you say it takes an intentional parent to handle a child properly in this time and age that we have found ourselves, so we're talking about 21st century parenting. Yeah. What does that really mean?
21st century parenting means is an act. 21st century is an act of guiding a child to protect, to be a counselor, to be a teacher, to be a monitor to a child, not even your own biological child alone, but any child around you.
Around us, okay.
You have to be intentional. Like, I don't want this child to go astray. I don't want him to fall. I need to guide. I need to correct. I need to teach.
Okay. Okay. You've talked about intention, more than twice now. So I'd like you to talk about some of those challenges, modern parents face, in parenting. We didn't use parenting, training, their children today.
Thank you. Most parents don't seem to understand. That's one of the challenges, because if you understand who your child is, if you understand what the love language is, if you understand that a child has a defect, and work with those things, you will not have issues.
When you say defects, what are the things to look out for?
When we are talking about defects, we are talking about emotional disabilities or mental disabilities that are not over. You know,
we used to beat those things out of our body. Then
thank you.
Why is it now packaged so nicely?
Yeah, knowledge is unfolding per time.
Okay.
People are beginning to know that it's commonly known that most people don't know how to pronounce R.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know that there are some people that cannot pronounce CH?
Yeah.
Some cannot pronounce D.
Yeah.
Letter D.
Yeah.
It's a defect.
Yes.
And it has a name.
Okay.
Some children are not good at figure. They see 2 and they call it 3. Or they see 4 and they say it's 7. It's a defect.
Is that not what they call dyslexia?
Yes.
Okay.
There are some children that they forget things easily. They forget things. Go and bring pencil. You see that the child come back to you and say, Mommy, what did you say? In our own time, they will sound you with a slap.
And you'll be
Did you not hear me? But now that you know that this thing is a defect and you work with it, when you say go and bring pencil and the child comes back and say, Mommy, what did you say? I said pencil. And he goes and bring pot. Now you don't have to slap him or her. All you need to do, I said pencil, knowing fully well that forgetfulness is or her defect.
Okay, from what you've said now, I can understand that the 21st century parenting is being more aware of your child, your
yes.
children, which is okay, I understand that. But again, let's look at how social media, how technology, and now that we even have AI, how it has reshaped the parenting style, and let's look at the pros and the cons.
Social media is because parent has left their responsibility to social media. And I know some parent that says, they said, the person that wrote those things on social media or that posted those things on social media wrote it according to what his or her child is portraying or was doing part time. You will now read it. You now say they said at 2 a child must be breaking cups. So if your own did not break cup, you will be worried. That's one of the negative effects of social media on parenting.
Okay. I want to go back to what you said earlier before you answered this Joy's question. You said parents need to be aware, to know their child. You made example of, sending a child to get a particular thing and he returns with another thing. So how does a parent now know that this is a defect? What are the things, a parent should start to look out for? Because I still tell you today, some parents still do not understand, because not everybody still understand the word being intentional and being aware. So what are those things, parents should start paying attention to in the child?
Number 1, when you have the understanding that now I am becoming a parent. Know that you are going to start a responsibility or responsibilities on a child or children. When you identify first, this is an assignment.
Okay.
I would say some parents don't seem to identify or get aware of who their child or children is or her because they keep themselves too busy looking for money, status, power. That's why it seems some parents don't get aware of who their child is. But when you realize that I have a lot to do in shaping my children, not shifting my responsibility to another person's, like some parents do to teachers, to nannies, to house help or maids. When you realize it's your own responsibility, you will give yourself time to identify who your child is, to know what your child needs per time.
Okay.
I have this opportunity while my children were growing up. I was telling some group of people that maybe I was allowed to go through all those things so that I can have story to tell.
Okay.
At least I have 3 kids, and 2 of them I identify their defects at a very tender age, as a very early. I think my first daughter I identified a defect at 5, when she was 5. But I didn't know it has a name.
Okay.
I just know that she's not good at reading.
Okay.
So I blamed myself because she was promoted from nursery 1 to primary 1.
Oh, okay.
So then the second one, when she was 3, I identified a defect.
Okay.
So I noticed that when I asked her to go and bring something, she will run back to me and say, what did you say?
Okay.
Or at times, if she's busy playing or she was busy playing, she will bring something else.
Okay.
So instead of me slapping her or shouting at her, I would say, no, that's not what I asked you to bring. So I will now start singing that thing.
Go back. Yeah.
So it was later in life that I discovered that that is a defect.
Okay.
So what I'm trying to say in essence is that some of these defects, we might not know the name that goes with it, but we will know that this child is struggling to do this.
Okay.
This child wished to do this.
Okay.
This child would have done this, and this is what she's doing.
Okay.
Okay, I understand the area of a child's defect now, which is understandable, but that's not again to say that we'll begin to pardon bad character. Because when you look at, we're still talking about 21st century parenting and the youth. When you look at the kind or the set of young people that we have today, character-wise, I'm sorry to say, but it's not something to write home about. Then we have something called gentle parenting, where you don't beat the child, you can't scold the child.
Permissive parent.
Permissive. But anyway, growing up, we used to live where it takes a village to train a child.
Yes, community training.
When you are in public, you can't misbehave because somebody would say, I will tell your mommy. That person will first of all beat you and say, I will want to tell your mommy.
In fact, you are misbehaving and they ask you, is your mommy home? Know that you are dead.
But today, we are in a society where everyone is doing mind your business. In fact, you can't you beat your neighbor's child, eh?
They know born you well.
All right, so at what point did we miss it? At what point, because everything is just wrapped up now. At what point did we miss it? The coming in of gentle parenting. Can you even explain what gentle parenting means? Do I need to scold my child, spank my child when she misbehaves? Does it mean I'm not a gentle parent?
I always say something that in 21st century, we don't have 21st century bad children. We have 21st century bad parenting. Those of us that went through those community training, we felt it was a slavery. So those are the people that will say, what I went through, my child will not go through it. What pained me, I don't want my child to feel that pain. We don't really have bad children, we have bad parenting. I'm sorry to say. We have bad. That is why we see the way youth, teenagers are coming out. When we leave our responsibilities to other people to handle for us, or to carry them out for us. Go to school. I used to be a classroom teacher where a parent would bring raw egg and Indomie. Mrs. Alaba, please, this is breakfast. I looked at her. I said, I don't get ma. Hey, it's breakfast. Boil the egg and make the noodles for her. I said, I'm a teacher. I don't enter kitchen. And she drove off. I didn't have choice. I had to, because the school actually had a kitchen.
And the child has to eat.
Yeah.
So now that you've identified bad parenting in some of our parents, so as a practitioner now, how do you work with parents to ensure or teach them, how they should now handle children?
Like I have said before.
Do you work with parents? Do
Yes,
you work with parents?
I work with parents, so yeah.
Okay.
Like I said before, you need to identify who your child is. You know, there are some children that, or yes, there are some children that they always like to be on their own. Such child can only be corrected with cane. Those set of children, when you cane them, they will maintain the pain and say, I don't want mommy to beat me again. So you will correct them easily. But a child that is outspoken, that jumps from one table to another chair, climbs window, if you flog such child, you are wasting your time because you have not corrected the child. Those are the children that will say, yeah, do your beating and let me go. You understand now? So you need to understand who your child is. Children that they always want their space. When you hurt them, they will go inside or they will be on their space and start meditating. Why did mommy clap me? I don't like the way mommy slapped me. Instead of them to say, or maybe they are the one that offended, instead of them to say, mommy, I'm sorry, or mommy, why did you do that? They will sit down and be processing what you have done. So such child too, another way to correct them is words. You talk to them that, I don't like this. You don't need to cane some of them. But jumpers, they offend you, or just ask them to be on the spot. Our parents were using, I don't know if you know Arodon. They will say, go to Mommy Lagbaja and tell her to give you Arodon. When they know that you jump up too much. So when you get there, the Arodon will say, don't worry, I'm looking for it. 2 hours, you are still there. You understand now? So when you know who that child is, you will know what to use per time. I can count how many times I beat my first child. She's 21 now. I can count. But the other two, I have cane every corner of my house for them. I have, this small box, ties, sit down there. Because they will not be comfortable. So they would rather not offend you. They know that, mommy will ask me to stay on the spot. Their love language, you need to identify their love language.
Okay.
A child that, when you go out, even if it is just 5 naira biscuit that you brought, if his or her love language is giving of gift, and you brought biscuit, she or she will not go and announce that mommy brought 5 naira biscuit. Say, my mommy, she gave me a gift. You understand? There are some children that hug, physical touch is their love language. How are you? Give me a hug. Well done. You understand? So when you understand how to handle them, you will not have issues.
Okay, these are techniques to teach parents.
Yes.
In parenting their children. Okay.
Then they are, like I've said, defects.
Okay.
That defect is so. You know that gluttony is a defect. A child that eats anything. Yes. Okay. I later discovered that, or I recently discovered that menstrual pain is a defect. I was like, God will help us.
Okay, another challenge I think some parents also make is this ability to always compare, children, comparison of siblings, comparison of them with their past, comparison with their peers, even amongst their peers now. Yeah. So how much damage does that do to a child, and how does that affect parenting in 21st century?
It has caused a lot of damage. That girl that committed murder because of her JAMB results. Suicide. Yeah. Sorry. Because of her JAMB results. When I heard about it, I was like, the parent must have compared her results with somebody else's home. I had a primary 6 boy also killed himself because of his second term results. People, yes. People are not, the next I blaming the boy. I said, why are you blaming the boy? Do you know who the father or the mother has compared him with? They might have condemned him. You know, I said I used to be a primary school teacher. There was this boy in my class. When anytime you are teaching in the class, he will lie down and not listen to you. Classwork, if you manage to score 4, well done. But put this boy on the pitch. In fact, when they say somebody is a horse, my colleagues will be like, look at him. I said, yes, that is his ability. That is his strength. Work with his strength and not with the weakness. You are comparing your son's weakness with another person's strength. You condemn his weakness or his strength. Yes, let me put it that way, because I know the parent will be like, your mate, that is his strength is sport. And those are the mistakes we make in Africa. That's why we believe, I'm not saying education is not a good legacy, but then identify the strength of your child. A child that has A1 all through might not be as good as somebody that has 6 on the pitch. They have other strengths apart from academics. Identify all those ones and work with it, then help them pass the WAEC, or let me say their terminal exam, so that they can move forward academically. Work with them, let them pass the JAMB, then work with them, at least if it is grade. I'm not saying they should come out with pass, but then when you understand that this child has better ability in him or her than only just academic, you will not have issues.
Okay, like it or not, some parents still believe in the old way of parenting.
Yes.
They will never accept gentle parenting or accept whatever you say, what is 21st century parenting. They will never agree with that.
Yeah.
But like it or not, again, times and seasons have changed.
Yeah.
And as you said earlier, it's better for parents to wake up to the reality of things. So my question now is, for a parent who is still the old-fashioned parent, how can they now bridge the gap, close the communication gap between them and their teenagers? Because that teenage year is a very, very
important,
beautiful season. Let me put it that way. For teenagers, they are going through a lot, pressure, peer pressure, and all that. And so, for a parent, how can he or she close the communication gap and get more closer to their children?
What I would say is such parents must get knowledge. Don't remain in your past. Strive to move forward. Try to shift base. I'm not saying you should do things like others are doing it, because it's not possible. You are not me, I'm not you. She's not me, I'm not she. But then, get knowledge, read books, listen to programs, hear people talk. Don't block your. Some people they say, no, I don't want to hear, I don't want to hear. This is how I want to do it. You can't tell me what not to do, what to do. Calm down. Get knowledge. Shift base. What will help us?
Of course, I like the fact that, we are bringing God into we cannot do it.
It is God that
alone.
gave us the children.
Okay, we've talked about parents. No, so what can the youth now? Because we're not focusing on just the teenagers or the child. So what can the youths now do themselves, to make the relationship between them and their parents, better?
Know yourself.
Okay.
No, I would say the youth. As we say, parents should know the children. Youths too. Try and know who your parent is.
Okay.
It's not always common to have two personalities in a home, as in parent having the same, it's not always common. It's not always common. So when you know that mommy is approachable when she's reading, go and meet her. Mommy, this is what I want to do. What do you think? Listen to your parents' opinion first.
Okay.
Yeah, mommy, when you were in SS1, did you offer chemistry? Yes, I did. Okay, how did you go about it? Then when you listen to but mommy, now teaching has changed. Teaching is not like the way you were taught. This is how we were being taught now. And since you know when to penetrate your mother, then you strike a balance.
Okay. So
when you go to meet mommy, when she's furious about something and you want to say, mommy, you already know the answer.
Okay.
You understand? So children too should learn to, youth too, should learn to know who and when to approach their parents. Yeah.
Okay.
Then don't put yourself under pressure. Don't say because your friend in house 8 is wearing this, I must wear it.
Okay.
Be contented with whatever your parents can afford to give you per time. That is what, like my mother would say, it is what a mother has that she gives. This is what they can afford to give you. Be contented with it and accept it in faith. Then go and pray to God for God to bless them or for God to help them.
To help them.
Yes. Do you know that as a child you can seek help for your parents? Yeah. Yeah. I work with teenagers that will say, Ms. Aloba, please, can you talk to my mom?
Okay.
This is the situation.
Okay.
Ms. Aloba, please, I need you to talk to my dad. So they can also do that. Because, like, if, you know, most of these children, they're always on social media more than parents. So they might hear or saw something on social media and they would like their parents to practice such.
Okay.
They can seek, please, can you help me? Or they notice a misunderstanding or that the relationship between their parents is not a good one. They can go and say, please, ma, can you help my parents? And God has been helping us.
Thank you very much. With all we have said so far, parenting in the 21st century does not necessarily come with a manual.
No.
Okay, but it comes with opportunities which you have mentioned, to listen, to understand, and you know, to observe more and gain knowledge, to understand, of course, these children, and of course to guide them wisely. Thank you very much, Bolanle Aloba, CEO, Shoulder Counseling Clinic, family life practitioner, and relationship coach. And we've been talking about 21st century parenting and the youth. It's quite difficult because I am going through it, especially with these teenagers. And as I said earlier, it is a timely conversation. Thank you once again.
Welcome.
We'll go on a short break. When we come back, the conversation continues.